Do you feel stuck working endless hours like you're on a hamster wheel or a never ending loop on the matrix? Most people think that changing your life takes 10 years of therapy and hard work, but that is a lie. Change does not take time, change takes alignment. The reason you feel stuck and like things are just not working is because your biology is addicted to your current reality. You are chemically addicted to the stress, to the struggle, to the rush, to the chaos. And if you interrupt that chemical addiction, you can change your life in 30 days or less. But I have to give you a warning. If you try this biohacking neuroscience based protocol, your body will reject it. It works so impeccably well that you are going to have moments of doubt, moments of questioning, and moments of uncertainty of if you can actually do this. Can I make this happen? But it is so true and so easy. The answer is yes, you can by simply following these few steps. Because here's the truth. Your brain will try to self-sabotage this new easy life because it doesn't feel natural to you. It doesn't fuel that addiction that your body has inadvertently picked up over time of constant cortisol strikes and constant stress and constant all the things. Cortisol spikes. I think I said cortisol strikes. Cortisol spikes. Let's correct that. All the stress that's been going on in your life, your body is so used to that. So when things start to feel calm and they start to feel easy, we start to panic and think that something's wrong. But here is the science behind why your mindset shift, why you just need more time, why I just need to adjust this is not enough. Number one, it is a hardware versus a software issue here, okay? So your mindset is your software. Your nervous system is your hardware. You can get the smartest software in the world, the best AI, the best technology, but if the system, if the actual device, the phone, the computer, whatever it is, your body is broken, the software's not going to run right. So I can teach you all the hacks. You can look it up on TikTok, on YouTube, listen to the podcast, read the books, do all the things, put all the software inside of you. But at the end of the day, if the hardware, which is our body, our physical body, is broken, it won't be able to run even the best of information. You can't run high performance software on a broken hardware. That is your burnout and your survival mode because your cortisol stress levels, your cortisol spikes, they are addictive and your body craves that chaos because that's what it knows. That's all it has known up to this point. And so to make that change, we truly have to break the cycle. And that takes us to the first step in the protocol is the dopamine fast. You don't want to hear it, and I cringe saying it, but you can't hear your own intuition. You can't tune in to your knowing because you are drowning in cheap dopamine. And this is what it looks like: sugar, bad eating habits, doom scrolling, drama, seeking external validation, like all the things in life that we are looking for outside of us, right? Not the things that are inside, but the things are outside of us. Those are cheap dopamine hits. Every time somebody likes a post, every time we buy something new, every time we get that snack that we know we don't need, it spikes that dopamine in our brain and it continues to feed us in that same cycle that we talked about, that loop in the matrix that we have to break. So how do we break it? How do we do this dopamine fast? We have a 7-day boring phase, a boring life for 7 days. Okay. That is step one. That is how we get from just thinking, I just need more time to change. I just need a better mindset. No, you need alignment. But first, we've got to break that dopamine, those dopamine hits, and 7 days of boring. No scrolling. I'm not saying you can't go online, but as soon as you realize that you have not gone on there, looked for something and got off, you are off the device. You are off the internet. No processed sugar. And no urgent fake task. Saving your family member from drama is not urgent. Someone else's emergency doesn't have to become your emergency, right? And so what happens is the boredom creates a gateway, okay, to brilliance, to your creativity, to your best thought processes unlocking. Because when you stop consuming, you are forced to start creating. I'm going to say that again. When you stop consuming everything else from the outside, you are forced to start creating, and your body and your brain actually do it automatically. You start getting good ideas again. You start realizing that you are enough. You start recognizing all the things that happen in your brain, and you're not constantly sucked into someone else's world, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and looking for the next thing. You don't need another good idea. You need to get in alignment and turn inward, because you already have the good ideas. You already know what you need to do next. Now it's time to listen to that knowing. Step 2 is we have to get out of the state of override. So far in your life, if you are watching this video, you have probably been pushing, pushing, pushing. You are already a hustler. You are already a go-getter. You are already trying to do things in life. But I don't know if you remember like the old big MS-DOS like computers, right? And you could override them. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like, my brain's going like Control-Alt-Delete, but like that's probably not what the prompt was. It was probably something like way more complicated. But all I can see is like the black screen with the green, and then you're overriding and it's going like yellow, red, you know? So what we do in life is so many times we get in this override stage. And so we've seen the symptoms, we've heard from our intuition, we know on the inside that we need to take a step back, but that sympathetic versus our parasympathetic nervous systems, that's that fight or flight mode, right? You cannot create a new future. You cannot step into the next version of your best self when you are always in that survival mode, okay? Because your body does not know the difference between an external threat and a tiger chasing you, okay? Like just anatomically on the inside, it does not know. And so what happens is we repeat the past over and over and over again. And what that looked like for me is out in my 20s, I was trying to force so hard, so much to make a family and have a kid and get married that I did it once. I did it twice. I did it 3 times, all in my 20s, all ending in divorce, because I was never turning back inward. I was in that constant state of override, trying to force everything to happen instead of being open to receiving what it was that this life had for me. And so how you can do this is a little bit of somatic practice. So we talked about the dopamine reset, just some boredom, the boredom, okay? But for your getting out of this override state, we have to deep breaths, like a big physiological sigh. Like that takes energy in and out. Cold exposure and the 0 hour. So one of my previous episodes, we'll make sure that we put it in the show notes, talks about the 0 hour, which is getting up early, getting up before everyone else, before the world wakes up. That's 5 a.m. for me. And taking that time to hear your own thoughts and feel what's going on inside of your body. So many times we get in that override state and we rush past all that. So we don't make decisions. We don't send emails. We don't have hard conversations until we have chemically shifted into that calm state. And then when you get there, you get out of this override state of reacting all the time, you are able to lead from a place of regulation instead of reaction, right? And that feels good. That feels like you're being true to who you are and takes us right back to that alignment. You don't need more time. You just need more alignment. And if you like this episode so far, be sure you follow and subscribe us so you don't miss our episodes that are dropping every single week, because we love building our community of like-minded women who are all in this life together, trying to learn and grow as we go. All right, step 3. So we had our dopamine reset. We're getting out of our overdrive state. And step 3 is being able to visualize our brains being neuroplastic. What does that word mean? Okay, we are imprinting in our brain. So remember, our brain does not know the difference between a reality and imagination, because our brain is an organ, just like an eye is an organ, or a Is a toenail an organ? I feel like that's not an organ. I don't know why that came to my brain. Like a kidney. A kidney's an organ. And so your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So we can't just think about the goal, right? We can't just go, the goal, the goal, the goal, the goal. We've got to feel the gratitude that's already happening. So as I've like been contemplating words of the year and guiding words, you always want to use these words like accelerate or grow but like, what if we chose a word like savor? Like we knew we were going somewhere, but we didn't want to miss a step along the way. That is how we start to get our brains to already start feeling success and to become what's called neuroplastic so that it can adapt to different situations. And so it primes our nervous systems to spot opportunities where we were blind before. Because if all we're focused on is, I need 1,000,000 followers, I need $1,000,000, I need a paid off house, and we don't do anything but just focus on that one tedious goal, then what did we miss in the process? Because there could have been some really great stuff. And I guarantee you that there was, when we get so focused on a goal that we miss the joy of the journey in process. And so it helps us to feel like that what might be magic or luck, it's actually your biology. You are rewiring your brain to feel as so you were already successful because you are having tiny wins along the way. So maybe your goal is way off there, but there's going to be hundreds of tiny wins that get you there along the way. And if you're able to notice those, you're training your brain what it feels like to be successful, to feel the win, to know that joy. And there's no reason that you wait till the very end to feel that because it's happening right now. Your everyday life is the life on the way to the goal, right? All right. And so how else do we get in alignment is the last one is a warning. So it's not a step. So you had your 3 steps, our dopamine rest, getting out of our state of overdrive, and then figuring out how we can visually feel success along the way in our brains. But there is a warning. If I had caution tape, I would like caution, caution, caution tape right across here. There is what's called an upper limit problem. So it's the scary part. When you do this, when you do these 3 steps, things are going to get good for you. They're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel more aligned. You're going to know what you want. You're going to eliminate the busy and the chaos. You'll get the client that you want. You'll lose the weight. You'll feel the peace. You'll get married. When you start realizing that those things are happening, there's danger in that because your ego is going to panic, but it is lying to you. It's going to say, this is too easy. Something bad's about to happen. You don't deserve this. Something must be wrong. And it's going to try to get you to pick fights and to cause problems where no problem is. There's no problem there. There's no reason that you need to have a problem because you started to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the process, to fully align with who it is that you want to be and where it is you want to be going. And the solution for this is to know that you're probably going to catch yourself in the wobble, right? Of realizing like, oh, shiz. Yeah, I kind of just messed that up and there wasn't any problem there. But when that fear comes up, when that panic comes up, tell yourself, I'm safe to be successful. I'm safe to be happy because you are. And the truth of the matter is all of life is a journey, right? And there are always going to be new hacks and new tips and new tricks and new ways and new apps and AI and whatever the next technology is that comes out. But if we can stay tuned into our alignment, our journey, your focus, where it is you want to go, you don't need more time. You have exactly the amount of time that you need this side of heaven. And it's up to you with what you do with it. So if this is something that you need a partner in, you can have your own little board of advisors, your own little cheerleader in your pocket. Click the link below and sign up for a one-on-one discovery call with me. No obligation, where we will jump on a call face to face and start talking about what you're struggling with right now and where it is you want to go from here.